Did you see the Ashton Kutcher clip that he talked about, the AI?
Yeah, bro.
As an actor, what's your perspective on that?
Hang it up. AI is not going to stop you from laughing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think AI is going to be that clever to come up with a joke to like make you laugh. But yeah, I think
Because that comes from like human experience, right?
yeah.
What are the characteristics of a good actor?
There are movie stars and there are actors.
Okay, what makes someone a star?
When their personality transcends and you enjoy watching them in a movie.
Do you think that there's any protocols that should be in place to the chance of injury lessen, or is it pretty good?
I think the biggest thing is just kind of developing, really developing an awareness at a very insane level about who can do what.
Mr. Victor Togunde, what's up, brother?
Oh,
Cheers, bro.
Cheers, man.
With some coconut water. It's the first
love
time
it.
that I've cheers with coconut water.
I know. I love it.
Have you ever, I know you don't drink. Have you ever been peer pressured into drinking or drugs or anything like that? Or
nah.
You've been in Hollywood for a minute, bro. Have you not had been lost in the sauce?
Bro, so I'll tell you my first peer pressure story.
Okay.
It wasn't peer pressure, but I just really wanted to like, I think back, I'm like, dang, I should have done that. So can we curse on here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I did this movie called Hollywood Homicide with like Harrison Ford, right? And it was like a long 16-hour day. And he just looks at me, he's like, on lunch break, you want to go smoke? Dog, and I'm like, yo, this is Han Solo asking me to like smoke some weed with him like the first time, you know what I mean? And I said, oh man, I'm good, but dog, I really should. I always think about that, like, man, I probably should have smoked out with Harrison Ford just to say that I like smoked it. Yeah, Harrison Ford. But that's the only time I ever like really considered.
So you weren't even peer pressured into it?
No, I wasn't peer pressure, but it's the only time I was like,
I should have done it.
I should have done it.
Yeah.
And at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like really contemplate, like, do I do it? You know what I mean? And he's like, let's smoke on lunch break. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I don't know what's gonna do to me. I don't know if I can even remember my lines. You know what I mean? I've like never done it before, but he doesn't know that, right? He's just thinking it's like
normal.
Everybody, yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. So but nah, man. I've been in LA for a minute, bro, and I've seen it. You know, people around me, you know, I've had friends that have been in and out of rehab, you know, hardcore drugs and, you know, coke. I mean, everything. It's never really like, here's the two reasons why.
Okay.
Here's the two reasons why. So I'm older than you. So
100%.
when I was a kid, there was this dude named Len Bias. I don't know if you remember. It's like the 80s. Like I was a kid, and everyone in every you know, iteration of the NBA, there's always like two alpha dudes, right? But all through like the 90s, there was only Jordan, right? And the reason why is because they said the dude that was supposed to compete with Jordan was this dude named Len Bias, right? And on draft night, when he was drafted by the Celtics, the story that we were all told as kids is that he tried coke for the first time and he died.
Do you know if this is true?
Well, ESPN did a 30 for 30 on it, and it wasn't that he did it for the first time. They always did it, but like because he just got drafted, you know, dude got like pure coke.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and his boys got poor instead of like the stepped on shit, right? They got pure coke. And
Isn't that supposed to be better for you?
So from what I understand, pure coke is supposed to be better for you, but if you're used to doing stepped on coke and do like 3 or 4 lines or whatever, and half of it's like baby powder, and then you line up 3 or 4 lines of pure stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's like more coke. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So that was like.
But you said it was his first time.
we were told that as kids. Yeah. So, because they're gonna lie to kids and be like, "See, that's why you don't do drugs, because you're gonna die like this dude." You know what I'm saying? And so that really kind of put an impression on me. And then, being from Texas, everybody dips.
Yeah.
Right?
It's disgusting.
Right?
Have you done tobacco dip before?
Oh, yeah. That's what it was. So
I threw up the first time I did it.
Bro, worse. So I I think I'm like 7 or 8.
8?
Yeah. I mean, Cowboys around me.
I was like 17.
Texas. Yeah.
Dallas, right?
Yeah, Dallas. And so, there wasn't anybody who didn't have a ring in their jeans, and you practice it's like it's a rite of passage to snap it and all that. So I used to take some friends and just practice snapping. That's all. Or literally, we would practice. We'd see an old Skull or Copenhagen thing on the floor, and you would just practice. Yeah. That was kind of a thing growing up.
High school too for me, for golfers, baseball players.
Yeah.
They're just
yeah, right? So I'm learning how to do this at 7. So
7? That's crazy.
Because that was what was around, in my neighborhood. And so this one cowboy was we called them ropers, right? Yeah. This one, he's like, you want a pinch? You know?
A little pinch.
Yeah, and so the first time I did it was Skull, but then there was this sweet stuff called Golden River.
Ooh, that's where they put the honey in it? And
stuff,
right?
Yeah, and I'm like, I like this one, right? So,
and again, this is 7 or 8.
Yeah, so I'm wild. 7, bro. So I put it in, and I'm sucking the shit out of this this honey, and dog, I fucking went to space, bro. I went to space, man, and I was so pissed because I couldn't function.
Yeah,
it's like imagine you're a kid and you spin around and you're dizzy, but it it's gonna wear off for 30 seconds later.
Yeah,
it's bro, I was dizzy for 3 hours. It was crazy, crazy, and. Yeah, that was nah, I'm good.
So you learned at a young age, you're like, fuck this shit.
Yeah, the idea that I'm not in control of my body.
Yeah. So you kind of got PTSD from a substance. And you're just I'm not going to consume any other substance.
Yeah, that's what it was, bro. It was the shout out to the roper that gave me some Golden River. Yeah,
but there's also the romanticized version of it, where you go out here, you've seen the clubs where people are having their bottles, drinking. You see every actor and creative person smoking weed, and that didn't grab your curiosity at all.
Nah,
zero.
Nah, nothing. Nah, not really.
No.
Yeah, bro. I don't know. It's I got high off of, because I used to go out a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. And I just got high. I love being around people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your energy's always high.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's I love being around people. Love that's I get high off of that. But
when it's a late night and stuff, anything like that, you're still wired just off people's energy.
Yeah, man. If if the mood is right,
the vibe.
If the vibe is right. Now I know over the years it's it takes a lot for me to really enjoy a space, because it's you've done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
how do you find that vibe now? Because you've been around all the parties, you've been in all the events, all the concerts. How do you know what's because for me, seeing not as much as you've seen, I already know right away. I was this is lame, I'm leaving.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of that. But so I went through this phase, when I was a lot younger, I loved going everywhere by myself, because it was there's just shit you can get into. People you can meet.
LA cats are wild.
Right? There's a level of access you can get if you're just a cool individual and you meet some people. Hey, if you ain't doing nothing, you want to come to... You know what I mean? Where it's if you're with your boys, they're not going to invite all five of you to
So you just go by yourself.
So I used to do that a lot when I was younger. And then, once I got a friend group, that was really cool.
How did you decide where to go out?
I mean, yeah, it was just meeting people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You're just let's go to WeHo tonight. Let's go downtown. Let's go to the Santa Monica Pier.
Yeah. Just
any of it.
Yeah, just, you know, meeting people. They're like, hey, there's this really cool thing or whatever, you know. But then I got older and it was like, you know, your friend group. Then there was a shift. There was like a shift that happened where it was like, so like, you know, Vegas. I say there's like four ways to do Vegas, right?
What are the 4?
There's like, one is like with your boys.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
The bachelor party vibes?
Yeah, the bachelor party vibe.
I've done that a couple times.
Yeah, that's cool, but you know, it has its limitations. You know what I'm saying? Then 2 is if you do that on a level where it's just like somebody in that crew's a baller, if not you, right?
Sure.
And it's just
like the promoter guys.
Yeah. Then it's like, yo, like that's a whole nother
different
level. Different world. And then really there's 3. Then there's like doing it with your chick, right? That's a special kind of.
I feel like the 4th way special kind of way. I feel the 4th way is just being a pretty girl in Vegas. You could get in anywhere. You could do all the things.
Bro.
I mean, in LA too, right?
Bro. Let me, you Christina, you know, yeah. She posted this photo with her and like her squadron. Like, I mean, Christina's just dope in itself, right? And she posted something on her story, or no, it was her Facebook, her Instagram. She posted, and I'm like, yo, this is a squad that, like, if any of you pay for your drink this weekend in Vegas, like,
you're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong. And she replied, she's like, yeah, trust me, we're not. And I'm like, that's what I thought.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Like, there's, So, yeah, I mean, like, right. So
you're talking about the 3rd way with your, with the lady.
With your girl. And if your girl's hip, because, you know, listen, there's some couples that it's like once you couple up, Vegas is off limits to couples, right?
Maybe.
Bro.
How so?
Bro.
Oh.
Dog. Like, I know couples where if they go to Vegas, if they're together, none of them are allowed to go to Vegas solo.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Hello, friends. I hope you are enjoying the show. I just wanted to chime in and talk to you about Bucked Up. If you need more protein in your diet, creatine to aid your muscle growth as well as recovery, or pre-workout for your demanding sets during your workouts, Bucked Up has you covered. I use their Snickerdoodle protein and creatine monohydrate every single day. And on days I don't feel like working out, their BAMF nootropic pre-workout keeps me swinging kettlebells, running mountains, moving weight inside and outside the gym. If you'd like to try them out and save some money, use code NateBiltz1 for 20% off any order. And back to the show. This crazy thing happened. I know a lot of Tao people because I used to work at for Tao Group.
Right. Yeah.
And there's a lot of nightclubs in Vegas, and a couple of my boys who work there, they've seen the amount of times that they see bridesmaids, not bridesmaids. What's it called?
Yeah,
the bridal shower.
The bride to be.
The bride with their gown, just the top piece. When they're going out at the pool or this and that, and they're just making out with dudes.
Yeah, bro, it's real.
And I was just like, you're getting married like in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
what's going on? And vice versa, probably. You know?
Oh, of course, dog. Of course, like. The amount of married women, oh yeah. So it's like when you come back with that knowledge, you're like, yeah, baby, you can't
do that.
Vegas. Yeah.
What's kept you in LA for so long, bro? Because we talked about it before the pod that, especially in the acro community and the acting community, you've seen so many like seasons of like people roll through, and for yourself, you just like watched it before your eyes. Like COVID was crazy. Like
COVID was nuts. You know what? In hindsight, I love COVID, dog.
I loved it, especially here.
Bro, let me tell you,
there was no traffic.
There was no traffic, but it's because we're on the subject of women, dog. So in case my girl watches this or whatever, right? Like, she already knows. I ain't telling her anything. Yeah. I'm not. But during COVID, like when 2020 happened, it was like everybody was trying to like boo up. Right?
The 2020, people had kids or dogs.
Yeah. Everybody was trying to boo up. And it was just like, and and you learned real quick if like that chick was compatible or not. Like the 2 months you guys hung out in quarantine.
Because you're hanging out more in those 2 months than some people do in years.
It was like a year.
Yeah.
Compressed into 2 months. You already know.
Yeah.
If I can stand this person, there's nowhere to go. There's nothing to like, you know, I can't say, oh, I'm busy because I just want to be by myself. There's like nothing to do. So you're like with this person
all the time.
Yeah, and it was great because you got to just see what was up.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I loved it.
So
like,
you were booing up with a ton of people every 2 months? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, not every time, but like it was fun.
Yeah,
I thought it was fun.
Yeah,
it was great.
You're doing a lot of protest stuff back then too.
Yeah, bro. I mean, shit, dog. Of course, like. Yes.
Yeah. No, I totally understand, bro.
Yeah.
Just, the stuff was crazy in the fact that in terms of COVID itself, and then Black Lives Matter happened, and everyone's marching outside together with masks, but also just like everyone's telling everyone to stay inside, but everyone's outside.
Yeah, it was. So here's the thing, man. I knew that when the autopsy about what COVID was, the science, what we were told, I knew there was gonna be missteps. I just think that was gonna happen. Now
it was just no one knew about it. It was
new. No one knew.
Yeah, because if you look at it right now, it's so funny. If you look at the clips from the news saying if you stay 6 feet apart, guaranteed you're not going to get COVID ever. Like,
yeah, but now we know that was based on droplet science and not like aerosol science, right? And so the aerosol, you know, and that's a logical thing. So like droplet science is like coughing or sneezing. So that 6 feet makes sense, but it was an aerosol thing. So technically, you had to be like 20, 30, 40 feet away from somebody not to catch it. So, I mean, we know that now. You know, I saw that Dr. Fauci got, you know, some shit for it or whatever. But you knew all that was going to
the craziest thing that fucked me up is when we started working again. When I was bartending at Soho House at the time.
Yeah.
One guy was, he worked for Pfizer.
Yeah.
And I was just shooting the shit, talking about it. He's like, yeah, all of it's bullshit. Like, I'm selling 3 million masks to Australia and they don't work. Like, it's just a money thing. And I was like, you're telling me this? Like, bro, this is crazy. He was like, yeah, I didn't get the vaccine. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. Man. Wait, what did he say about the vaccine?
He said, it was like, yeah, I didn't get it. Like, that shit doesn't work.
Yeah, bro. I mean, you know, like, yeah, dog. I think looking back, you know, hindsight's always 20/20. I think looking back, I think we did the best thing that was possible
with the knowledge
knowledge we had. But you always knew that because you'll never see what the worst situation of it could have been, people will always like be critical. Like, look, listen, dog. I think if COVID would have happened and we collectively agreed not to shut down, yeah, we would have had, listen, out of 350 million people, right? You have like 10 million dead bodies on the street.
Well,
that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That 10 million people dying like that in a few months or however long, right? It
was crazy.
When CNN was doing the fucking thing on the side.
Yeah.
Because you got to think of all the older people. You got to think of all these people that were dying. Because people were dying. It wasn't like it was fake.
100%.
Right? Like people were dying.
In Miami, it was fake.
People were dying out there too. You know what I mean? People were dying. You know what I'm saying? But had we not like shut down, oh yeah.
I loved it. I read 50 books that year, bro.
Damn.
Yeah. I've never read that much in my entire life. I think I've read like 2 books in 1 year's the most. And then I read 50 books that year.
50, man. Wow.
Before we continue this week's conversation, I just wanted to take a quick moment and talk to you about our friends at MUDWTR. Their original blend is a coffee alternative made of 100% organic cacao, masala chai, turmeric, lion's mane, reishi, and cordyceps to give you natural energy and focus without the jitters or crash. When I know I'm gonna have a long day ahead of me, I mix the MUDWTR original blend with some whole milk and a couple drops of honey to elevate my day. In my opinion, it's more flavorful than a chai latte and is better fuel for my body. To elevate your day and get the benefits of coffee without the jitters or crash, click the link below to receive 20% off. And back to the show.
I learned how to video edit.
How was that?
It was cool, man.
Is that how you got did you edit all your videos?
Yeah. I mean, the stuff that's out now is like pales to what, I mean, I did that.
What was so intriguing about editing?
I just think that's like, I think that is like making music, really. You know what I mean? Like
How so?
You sit in front of your laptop and you try to think of, it's like art, right? Like you think of, you have this piece of music you want to use, these smash cuts, you want this cut to like, transition on this certain sound in the song. Like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, all that's like really, really cool.
I feel like it adds to the art form, right?
Yeah, totally.
Because like I could see you flip people in the air, but then imagine on the beat of it landing on your feet.
Yeah.
It makes a stronger effect.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, now there's just so much of it. I mean, I think the new revolution in filmmaking is when AI is.
Did you see the Ashton Kutcher clip that he talked about, the AI?
Yeah, bro.
That's scary, right? As an actor, what's your perspective on that?
Hang it up.
Bro. Hang it up?
Yeah, dog, listen, man.
You totally serious?
I think okay. Listen, bro. In this town, LA, in the like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, this town was teeming with musicians. And if you were good enough to get a phone call to play drums or guitar or a cowbell
or sing,
like you're a studio session musician, or horns. Horn, like listen to older music, the horn sections. You know what I'm saying? All that. Like that kept thousands of people working because it was like someone needed to play, something on somebody's album.
And now it's just like a button of a horn.
Exactly. Now all that shit's inside of a MacBook that you can do in a studio apartment. You don't even, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so all those people are out of job, right? I think the entertainment industry is something similar is gonna happen. Yeah, I think something similar is gonna happen.
Why do you want to pursue like this new project that you're doing as well then? Like if you believe
Because
that.
I mean, people are always gonna want to sit in front of something and tell a story. You know what I mean? And laugh.
Yeah.
Right? Like AI is not going to stop you from laughing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think AI is going to be that clever to come up with a joke to like make you laugh. But yeah, I think
because that comes from like human experience, right?
Yeah. I mean, let me take it back. I don't think actors going to be completely out of a job or whatever, but I do think the powers that be, if they're smart, they will temper it in a way that doesn't cause mass chaos to where there's like no work and you're destroying industries. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So
what do you mean by that?
I mean, look, can they have made a car years ago that could have gotten 50, 60 miles a gallon? Yeah.
Yeah.
But they chose not to because they still wanted to keep the oil companies in business.
Yeah.
They still want, an industry where it's like, okay, we're going to have your car run to 100,000, but we want certain things to break.
Yeah.
so we can fix them. So you can spend, right?
So the economy could keep running.
Yeah, so that whole automotive economy can keep running, right? I mean, they purposely do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? What's the term called in the world of computing? Selected obsolescence or something like that? Sure. Yeah, it's like a term they coined where they for example, like if you say you bought an iPhone 8, and it's like, my iPhone's still working, right?
It's not working anymore. No
exactly.
way.
They're pushing out an update for the sole purpose to say, even though you've been one of those rare ones that keep this iPhone 8 up to par,
it's
just
like
so
the new
you
Chargers.
know.
It's like the new Chargers.
Exactly.
At one point, there's going to be no more of the old Chargers.
We're purposely going to do an update to make sure that thing runs so slow, you're going to have to buy a new. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So I think, with that said, I think I think the powers that be, you know, they're gonna want to try to keep a structure up to where, you know, everything is still analog in some type of way, right?
Yeah.
But like,
what's your advice to, I guess, any new actors who move to LA and still want to do the thing?
Well, I mean, I think you just have to,
because when you came to LA, bro, like it was a totally different acting scene. Like they didn't even it was everything was in person. You're lining up and you're doing the audition in front of the director here and there, and like now you could barely find that.
But so if you ask me, so here's the thing, right? Like the reason why I got into acting, because I loved comedy. I love the ability to kind of be a part of a story. I love the idea of being a part of something that can kind of whisk you away into another world or something, like, right?
Yeah.
But with so many avenues to entertain, like if I'm 18 today, I may not want to be, you know who I would be? I'd probably be Speed. You know the little YouTube kid?
Yeah.
That's who I'd probably be. When I see that obnoxious kid, it reminds me of my obnoxious ass when I was 18.
Okay.
And good for him, making all that money.
Yeah.
That's who I'd probably be, or Kai Cenat. I'm pretty sure of it.
Why do you think that these TikTokers or Instagram social media personalities or influencers, like, why is it valued for so much money? Like they get paid so ridiculously
because they got eyeballs on them. People love that.
Yeah.
People love that. They love to see, you know, and everybody's got their own, you know, interest in, you know, seeing what they want to see. Like,
yeah, attention. Everyone says like attention now is the biggest value.
Yeah,
like back then it used to be like iron and the steel and the gold rush and shit.
Exactly.
And like now it's people's attention.
Exactly. And the only thing that sucks about it is it's like there's like that low hanging fruit attention. You know, like doing pranks to innocent people on the street just to get attention, or just doing things that are criminal or just unethical to other individuals. You know, like that's the only thing that I don't like about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, I have no issue. Like, listen, man, like that Hawk2 girl, love her, bro.
Why do you love her?
I love her.
Why do you love her?
Cause it's just like,
she got big all of a sudden. She's on like all these podcasts and shit.
Dog, when her run is said and done, conservatively, I think she's gonna walk with like 3 or 4 mil.
That's solid.
Off of just talking about sucking dick, dog. Like that's nuts, dog. But you know, she's endearing. She's just sweet.
Oh, I haven't even listened to a ton of this stuff.
Oh God, man.
She's nice.
She's so sweet. She's like, if this is my 15 minutes of fame, then I'm just gonna do something special. And you know, she went to the fucking Walmart and bought a bunch of dog food and donated it. Like, yeah, man, this girl, you could just tell she's just really earnest and sweet.
Yeah.
Now, why it happened to her?
Yeah. Why do you think it happened to her?
That's a whole nother. I mean, come on, bro. Like, she's a blonde white girl with like this, like, you know, look.
Twang. Yeah.
that, you know, a lot of guys find very attractive. Sure. She's got that twang. Yeah. Like, she's like this all-American kind of girl that's sweet, but like talked about sucking dick in this vulgar way, but it still came off sweet. You feel me? You know what I mean? Like, that's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you could also argue, was that one guy who went super viral 5-6 years ago who's riding a skateboard drinking cranberry juice to
yeah, because it's but to Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah. Because again, I think that's out of the norm. Like I because it's like not what you picture, right? It's not what you picture when you see like a vato on a fucking skate. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't come after me, whoever. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I mean? And that's what like worked. That's what worked about that. You know what I'm saying? And he milked it, you know, and two, it was just like, you know, that was during the pandemic. Like, I mean, he milked it as much as he can, you know. What, is he living in a fat house, or is, because you know that dude
he went to jail recently.
Word. Like, there you go, dog. Like, I think he was living in a fucking what you call it? What's one of those like mobile homes? Yeah. Like working at an Amazon factory when that went down. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
And I'm sure he milked it. I don't think he cracked $1 million.
Yeah.
I don't think he cracked $1 million. But Hawk 2 girl? Oh yeah.
She'll crack it.
She'll crack 3 or 4 mil.
Are you a lover of making cocktails or work as a career or part-time bartender? If so, mix like a pro with A Bar Above. A Bar Above has the best mixing tools on the market, from shakers and strainers to mallets and ice picks. A Bar Above has you covered with all your cocktail needs. Use code BILTZ, BILTZ, for 10% off any order. You're so cultured, bro. You go to all of these concerts and you pay attention to all the social media and stuff. Like, do you use it? Do you use that knowledge? And I guess it's kind of, you're studying these people. You're studying the people that you're a fan of. Like, you always talk so highly about the concerts you go to and like the dancers that you're with, you know?
Yeah.
Do you use that knowledge and attention that you spend on your own entertainment for like what you did with like the Acro Machine or acting or anything like that?
I've always loved like just life, you know what I mean? The experience, like with the concerts I've been going to, you know, I'm like, these motherfuckers aren't gonna last forever. They're not gonna be here forever. Like, see them while you can, you know what I mean? See them all, you know. It's just a good experience. I love talented people. You know what I mean? I love.
What do you love about witnessing talented people?
That they made something that another person is willing to spend their hard-earned money on. Like, every time I go to a concert.
Like, when you talked about Taylor Swift, bro, you were so passionate about
Dog. Don't get me started about Taylor Swift, bro.
Go in, bro. I'm so curious.
She is fucking fast. Dog.
How so? Why is she fascinating?
It's like this girl cracked code on why her fans are the way they are. And Taylor's like, because I've studied it. I've read every article.
I know.
I'm like, here's what Taylor Swift is. Taylor Swift is the representation of girlhood. Right? She's got every song she writes is a certain aspect of what it is to be a girl. And they're so well written that other girls vibe to that. Then there's this like communal thing, right? Because of TikTok and Instagram, where it's like they're deciphering it and they're like talking about, and like there's this water cooler kind of vibe about it, where they're all like kind of trading notes, and in that they find comfort in each other. And Taylor represents that. You know what I mean? For these girls. And listen, motherfuckers can knock her all they want, but like, can you think of a better catalyst to write a song than to date some celebrity dude? And he's acting like a dude, like you and me, but he happens to be fucking famous. Yeah. And then she writes a song about how he shitted on her, just like you and I, but he happens to be famous. And so now there's this like kind of...
Yeah, and she says their names, like Dear John.
Yeah, and I don't say it in a disrespectful way, but there becomes this like reality TV show kind of element to it, because now she's letting you in their world, and it's like,
but not letting you in the world.
Bro, let me tell you. Because I went to the fucking concert.
I know.
Oh my God, bro. Oh my. So... I'm there. I'm chaperoning my fucking little niece, and I'm there.
You were there at like 6 a.m. or some shit.
No. We drove by at like, this is to get merch. We went there in the morning.
You have some Taylor Swift merch?
I don't have any, but we went there like at 10 a.m. on a Sunday when she wasn't having a show. And they're like, yeah, we've been in line since 4 a.m. Yeah. Oh, it was nuts. It was nuts. So anyway, there's these three little girls in front of me, and they're like, oh my God, and giving me friendship bracelets and shit. And I was like, cool. I was like, listen, girls, I'm gonna have to ask you guys, like, like what this song means. Okay, sure. So they're like kind of feeding me in, and my niece, and there was a song about this one actor. It's like a 6-minute song.
Okay.
About Jake Gyllenhaal. Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, you and I know who Jake Gyllenhaal is. And it's like, dog, the way they were just wrapped around this song about Jake Gyllenhaal. You can't, bro. You can't. Dog. She's perfect, bro.
Yeah.
Taylor.
Why are you so interested in it? Why are you so fascinated by it? For someone who it's like her music and the things that she does isn't you're not the customer, I would say.
No, hell no. I think I was the only nigga in there, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like you're not the prime audience that she's talking to.
No. I don't need to be. Like, I can like remove myself and look at it just
from an objective point
of view and just find it fascinating. I just think it's fascinating. I think like, people are like, it's blasphemous to compare her to Michael Jackson. Like, but dog, she's Michael Jackson. Like, she's that level of Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So like, how do you, I guess, validate or the $800 tickets that are like in the very back seat?
That's just capitalism, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's capitalism.
Moneymaker.
Yeah. And the only thing I'll say about that,
you had a friend who danced for her.
Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, Kevin danced. Yeah, shout out to Kevin. That dude, he hooked it up. Because, I had this old roommate, right, from back in the day.
You had all the dancer roommates back in the day.
Yeah, no, but I had this girl named Kimmy, Taylor Swift fanatic. Love Taylor Swift. And, I in my time in LA when I had roommates, have you ever had roommates in LA? Or whatever? Yeah, right. We've all had roommates. And
it's hard to do it it's hard to live by yourself when you come out here at first. You're trying to figure it out, bro.
Yeah. And that's the thing. My roommate experience in LA has been golden.
Oh, you're one of a kind.
Yeah, exactly.
One of a kind.
Golden.
Because every single person that I've talked to
has had a terrible night.
I've had nightmare roommates, bro.
Golden night. I mean, I've had golden roommate experiences, bro. I figured out early on. I'm like, okay, this is.
Well, also you're just like a likable guy.
Yeah, but there's a protocol.
Okay, what's the protocol?
There's a certain.
Give the people what they want. What do they look for? If you follow these plans, you will not have a bad roommate.
You will not have a bad roommate in LA. So, I'll get to the Kimmy story in a minute. But yeah, I gave her. I went to Kevin. I was like, listen, dog. I know everybody's going to ask you, because I really know him through my sister Trinity, right? You know, who dances and all that. And I'm like, dog, I know everybody. I said, I just need one ticket, bro. I just need one ticket. Like, she was the last roommate I ever had in LA. She's just an awesome person. I just want to, like, my thank you to her. You know what I'm saying? Just my thank you to her, just being just an awesome person. And so, dog, he hooked it up. Wow. He hooked it up, and that look on her face, and Kevin did one step above. Like, he came out and introduced himself and met her like before the show. Wow. Yeah, so it was really cool. But yeah, but back to roommates. So opposite sex.
Opposite sex?
Opposite sex.
You want an opposite sex roommate?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you don't want to be a creep and be like, I'm a guy looking for a girl roommate. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, what I've found is that if you're a girl, get a guy roommate. If you're a girl, get a guy roommate. Okay. Right? And I understand the apprehension from a girl standpoint, like, is he a creep or whatever? Once you get that out the way, right? So get a girl room, get an opposite. You know, I'm an actor, so I'm typically home all day or whatever. Let's have an audition or this and that. So I don't like to have roommates that are in the industry.
In the same industry as you.
Yeah, because then the next step was I would prefer a 9-to-5er, right? So opposite sex, 9-to-5er, right? Then, like, what tends to happen is if your roommate is dating, dudes are very like alpha in a sense, so they're not gonna come to your house to like kick it with their girl. The girl's always gonna go over there, right?
So you're talking about from a guy's perspective.
Yeah, from a guy's perspective. So the girl's always gonna go over there because the main goal as far as like roommates in LA is this:
just have your own space.
To have your own. Can I pay half? But feel like I live alone.
Yeah.
Right?
That's it.
Can I pay half, feel like I live alone, and can I match with somebody who's not trying to be my friend? Now, I obviously became friends with, like, you know, my roommates over the years, right? But like, if it gets to the point where it's just like they want to tag along with you on Friday night, that can start to get complicating because, like, then if there's anything that goes on out in the world, then you're bringing it back home. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I would never have you as my roommate, bro. Right? Yeah. Because you're like a good looking dude. You can get bitches. You know what I'm saying? Oh, excuse my language. Right? You can get girls. Like, You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so what's gonna happen is it's like, damn, dog, I just came home. I want to chill, turn on Netflix. Nate comes walking in with a chick. Then it's like, oh, or like, say I came home from a long day. You're out in the living room watching Netflix with some girl. I'm like, oh, fuck, now I gotta go in my room. And, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because it's like, I think the worst situations are when people are more like-minded, especially about how they want to, you know what I'm saying? So you just go opposite.
I guess the argument to that is, like, there's a lot of creators out here who want to live together to be able to put their minds together, to build certain projects together, to...
That's different. That's a whole nother focus. Okay. But if you're just wanting... Like, if you're...
You want to feel alone and pay half the rent. That's the move.
Yeah. Like, bro. Like, I've had roommates. I used to have this one roommate. Her boyfriend was a photographer for movies, and he was always on location. So he always had her house sit. So, dog...
You lived alone.
I lived with this chick for like 2 years, and I knew he was never going to pull the trigger and like have her move in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like... Psychologically, that's a big deal.
Yeah, but even though she was
there every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At one point, I just felt so bad. I was just like, yeah, don't give me half of the electric bill. Like, you turned on a light once to pick up some shoes and went back into the Hollywood Hills. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Best awesome.
Is that the key to, I guess, my first question earlier was you staying out here this long and being able to make it? Because at least for me in my short time, I think I've only been here seven years.
Yeah.
I've seen so many people come and leave, come and leave,
Oh, yeah,
come and leave.
same.
And I guess what's the secret sauce to being able to like do the thing? Because like you've made it out here like with a good acting career, with a good acro career,
Yeah.
all these things. And there's so many people who want to do what we're doing out here. And after 6 months, a year, 2 years, they're like, I'm not cut out for it. But I love it because I love it because we could go to concerts. There's events every single week. The beach is right there. Like downtown's right. Like there's so many things to do.
It's easy, man. Just don't live above your means. Don't live above your means. Like, again, why the room? So obviously, you know how it is. What is this? A 2 bedroom?
1 bed.
1 bedroom? Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, you could probably get a 2 bedroom in this building for what, $500 more?
There's no 2 bedrooms.
Oh, this is all 1 bedrooms. Oh, so yeah, so
you can use a different building example.
Yeah. But
most places you pay $500 more for like another
for a 2 bedroom. So now if you got a roommate who you never see, you're paying half of that.
Yeah.
So now if you can situate it where it's just like you paying half the rent, but you feel like you're living by yourself because they're doing their thing or whatever, then that's just money you don't have to worry about. And so if you do have lean times when you're not working, you're cool because you're not like, trying to keep up with the Joneses and wearing the flashy clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like you just don't have to do any of that.
So you were smart about it the whole time.
I was always smart. If I had a $200,000, $300,000 a year, I didn't spend money like I had a $300,000 a year.
Yeah.
I spent money like the year before that I only made 20.
Yeah, and you spent it like that.
And I spent it like that. And so that's what I always did. That's what I always did. I mean, the only difference, the only thing I would do different was I would have educated myself more about real estate because
Victor, guys, like every time we'd work out, he was like, I'm trying to get that house money.
Yeah, that's the only thing, bro. Because I had years, bro, where it's just like I could have put half down on what was then like a $200,000 condo.
Yeah, I met these guys the other day. There's this good friends. They're a gay couple that live in Toluca Lake now. Really nice neighborhood. And they bought this house, I think like 20-ish years ago in LA.
Oh, Lord.
Not that house. A house for like $250K.
Yeah.
They held it for 5 years. Not even, I think it was like 4. And they sold it for $600.
Yeah.
And then they sold that for 1.2 for their next house. And then they sold 4 or 5 times to buy their current house in Toluca Lake right now, starting off with only a $250,000 house.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I wish I would have done different.
And I was like, oh, like that's crazy. You didn't work for, I mean, you worked for it by the right decisions you made for your real estate, but you didn't like put in the time in a job the value of your asset just got bigger.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
I was financially illiterate
when you came out here.
When I came out here.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Well, I didn't understand. So like the house, we have a 3-bedroom house, 2,500 square foot, nice backyard. Like it's a great house, right? Back in Dallas, where I'm from. I think my parents at the time, my mom, spent $86,000 for it.
Oh shit!
Right?
Yeah. Dallas is on the come up.
Yeah, they're on the come up.
It's hard to find an $86,000 house.
Well, I'll tell you. I'll put a pin in that. I'm gonna tell you this funny story because when I went back home to Dallas.
Yeah.
So when I came out here, my mind couldn't understand how a 2-bedroom condo was $200,000.
Doesn't make sense.
Didn't make sense.
Yeah.
So in my mind, even though it's like I had 20% to put down and, even though my mortgage would have been whatever, say, I don't know, what's $1,500 or $1,000 on $200,000, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to buy until I just hit the lottery in this town and get a $2 million house. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I didn't have the wherewithal to understand when I was younger to do what your friends did, to buy the 200 and then level up
every few years.
Yeah, that's the only like decision that, you know, I regret, like, financially.
Is there any other areas that people can cut down on or figure out how to stay out here longer until they quote unquote make it?
I mean, really just like living. Yeah. I mean, yeah, just living. I mean, I think there's just so many avenues now to be able to make money.
Because there's some things that I get confused on. Like when I drove through In-N-Out the other day, I was just like, how do these people live in LA with an In-N-Out salary?
Oh yeah. I don't think that's
or a cashier behind a desk. You know what I'm saying? I was like, Like, I mean,
I think if you make, like, I don't know, $20 an hour, I think it's possible with like
40, 60-hour weeks.
Yeah. With
three roommates.
Yeah.
I went to UCLA, bro, and the craziest thing is I walked into a buddy of mine's apartment, and one of their rooms, you walk into the room, there is 6 twin beds lined up.
Oh, damn,
and
bro.
all of their clothes are underneath their bed. They're all sharing like the same closet. There's 6 dudes to one bathroom. I was like, whoa.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie, bro. When I first moved out here and we did fucking 3 twins that was the funnest fucking time, bro. That shit was so fun, dog.
You wouldn't go back to it though?
No. But like, you know, it's crazy. It was like, damn, I went sleeping super comfortable in a twin. Then I got a full and I'm super. And then, you know, obviously that's like when you're dating girls and you're like in a fucking twin. And then a full, and then a king. Now I can't do it unless I have a cow king.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
It makes spread out.
But man, when you're young and the hustle, you don't care where you lay your head at. Yeah, those are the best times, but yeah, I mean, as you get older or whatever, but yeah, I mean, I guess going back to like, there's so many ways to make like content or act or just be a performer that's not like traditional acting that like I'd sign up for, you know what I mean? But as far as like the cost of living and how to, I mean, I don't know. It's just, just keep your costs down and just, you know, hit the pavement and
do the thing.
Yeah, do your thing.
What do you love about dancing, bro?
I find not that I can dance, but I find
I've been taking a couple classes at Millennium every week.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, shit's hard.
Yeah, right?
the way they move their bodies, I'm just like, how are you moving your head like that, bro?
I know, it's like a muscle they form. Like, yeah.
It's just a cool skill too. Like the one thing that I think I'm trying to work on is you just go to the club and you can groove like properly.
Yeah.
And I was like, not just a 2-step, bro.
yeah, right? Like, yo, let me bust out that 1 8 count from that one class, but make it look like I was freestyling.
Yeah.
You used to do that shit all the time. Yeah. No, dog, I just always loved dance and dancers. God, that world is so fascinating to me, man. It's always been fascinating to me.
What part? Because like you, the one thing that I love about you, bro, is like once you love something like Taylor Swift or this and that, you just ask them all the questions and like tell me about it. Like,
I've been into dancers. Janet Jackson, Rhythm Nation video. That was the first time I was like, whoa.
I saw that video for the first time last year.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
What? Just remarkable. Just the way people use their bodies to like tell this story and it's just it's just an art form, dog.
Each beat is like just one limb moving.
And then like you take a class and you're like, how did you hear that in the song to like make that, you know what I'm saying? Just amazing. And then, so before, you know, because throughout my life, right, I've always like kind of picked up certain hobbies that like I just find fun or moving. So right now, the past 10 years, it's been acro, but before it was just like dance class. And I let everybody in there know, I'm like, I'm not a professional. I'm not even good. I'm just going to be here in the back and do my thing. And because I was a non-threatening to like anyone, like, or competitive, a lot of these dancers, a lot of choreographers let me into their world.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I grew up with Marty Kudelka, the Justin Timberlake's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And Wade Robson, he was probably the first one to kind of really ingratiate me because I was the only person. He was teaching when he was like 13. And there was
So did you not just take beginner classes? Like you went in and took like hard classes?
Yeah, but you know, it's a muscle. Like I'm sure you've seen those dancers that by the end of the class they're show ready. Like they look like they're show ready.
Yeah, I was like, yo, what?
Yeah.
Sure.
I never got show ready
After one class.
after, 5 years of doing classes, right?
5 years, bro.
Yeah, I took
So you can dance. I gotta see
now, now the muscle.
Is there a YouTube video out there of Victor dancing?
Nah,
Yeah, there
never.
is.
But I was good enough. So if a teacher taught a routine on Tuesday and then again on a Thursday, I was good enough to at least look decent by Thursday into the class. Right?
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I was pretty good.
You understand your body pretty well.
Yeah. So I was good enough to look decent by end of class Thursday. Right? If I took it Tuesday, then was show ready like end of class on Tuesday.
What does these hobbies that you've picked up over the years, like what does it do for you from starting as a beginner to being okay to like doing the thing? Like what does it do for you?
Listen, bro. When I first took up Acro, dog, I was just like, oh, this is like the closest thing to cheerleading. Because the thing was, the reason why I never stuck with cheerleading or stunting, stunting was because you always needed a spotter nearby, right? And so if you found...
Because you could use that, your flyer could splat.
But the thing that was cool about L-Base is I knew I was good enough to where I can self-spot. Of course, I obviously, when I would get into the more high level stuff, yeah, you're always using a spotter. But like the L-Base, just doing the machines or like, the flows or whatever, yeah, I didn't really need... I'm really good with my legs and my arms to be able to kind of assess like danger and where it's at. I mean... 10 years, dog, I've flipped probably 300 people.
I feel like more.
No, I mean, like the little, like me doing acro with flyers. Oh, yeah, hundreds. But actually flipping,
that's a lot.
Over 300. Never put anybody in the hospital.
That's awesome.
And that's awesome, man. There was a girl in our community that just broke her neck, bro.
I heard. Yeah, I saw James's post.
Yeah, that's wild.
And was it from Acro?
Yeah, it's from Acro. Wow. And, a skill that it's like, how did she break her neck on that? Like, I just want to send her good vibes and stuff, but the skill, it would have never happened on my watch. Like, I know how, like, if the flyer got away from me, how to like kind of kick the body in a way to where they don't land on their head, like they land on their side. Plus,
one thing I did notice, like the last couple times I went out there, you weren't out there, and the couple friends that I went with, a couple bases were like, "Oh, I got you," and then I was like, "Oh, you're not stable, bro. Like you're not stable, my guy."
Yeah.
And I was like, "This is not safe."
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of new people out there who want to learn their base skills too, right?
Yeah.
And the only way to increase your base skills, right, is to do it more.
Do it,
right?
and not like be impatient and wanting.
Do you
to
want to describe like a base and flyer real quick for the people who don't know?
Oh, so a base is like the usually the person that's on the ground level. Flyer is usually the one that's being flown in the air. So if it's like L basing, what I do where I land on my back, they're the person that is on top of me. And then standing, it's same thing. They're the ones where they're elevated in the air, and. It's gender neutral, whatever, but bases are usually dudes and, flyers are usually females. So.
Yeah. And I guess, how did you get into Acro?
Yeah, girl I was dating at the time. Because unfortunately, I think the worst thing I think they ever did was call it acro yoga. So
yeah,
then,
you're not about the yoga part.
I hate the yoga part. I hate the yoga part.
Why do they call it a yoga part?
Just some dude. And I mean, hats off to the guy. Like he had a vision that's more than what, most people, you know what I mean? That he executed it. But like, I think at the time he thought like, oh, I'm a blend yoga, stretching
and acrobatics
and acro and this kind of therapeutic kind of way. And then what he didn't anticipate, it would just evolve into more acrobatic, less yoga, to where it's like yoga is really non-existent.
Yeah, I don't know what the yoga part is. Maybe the girls doing poses.
No, the like
on the crazy
original
poses.
iteration of it. Like if acro was acro version 1, version 2, we're probably on version 15. You know what I'm saying? But like version 1 had this idea that like yoga was going to be a part of it in terms of the stretching and the therapeutic aspect, and it just developed way beyond what they thought. And so, but the problem is there was never a name change, and the name just kind of stuck.
Yeah. So
what happened is then, because the name is so synonymous with it, a lot of bases, dudes, they feel like they gotta know yoga in order to get into acro, which is terrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you severely limit the talent pool.
Yeah.
So
one thing that I guess I resisted towards it too is because like when I went a few times, I'm super uncomfortable in the sense like it's how do you get in? Like I feel like there's a gate.
No, yeah, it's there's no gate. It's just that like there's this culture.
How did you break through?
Oh, I just didn't give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I went down there.
Well, you're also already talented. Like cheer's a big thing. You already did cheer.
Yeah, cheer was a big thing.
You had this superpower already. They're like, oh, let me show you what I could do.
Well, so I didn't bust out the cheer right away.
Okay.
Right? So what happened is when I went down there, I was just trying to like get in. On that Sunday, everybody's kind of in their own world, right? Of doing their thing. So it's like, people they're not like, I mean, they're friendly to want to help, but that's not their main prerogative. They're trying to
get a skill down.
Yeah, they're trying to do their thing. So it can be intimidating in that way.
Yeah, that's
right?
the way. That's the way I'm talking about.
That's what's just gonna happen unless there's someone lingering and who wants to kind of help and assist.
Yeah. Like, do you think the biggest thing is like just keep showing up?
Yeah, just keep showing up. Just keep showing up, learning, little things here and there. And if you get lucky, then there'll be a flyer and or a base that'll be like, oh yeah, I'll teach you some things. So that's kind of what happened with me, right? So there was I had kind of identified a few people that were like, oh yeah, I'll help you, but because I already had flexibility in my hamstrings and had a great body awareness. Like I picked up really, really, really fast, like faster than, a lot of people out there. And
that shit's taxing on your hamstrings, bro. I didn't realize hamstrings and lower back, man.
Yeah. And then, because the first step is when you try it, right? Like there's some girl at every moment of the day out there, some cool chick is like willing to put her life in your hands. You really, if you think about it, you know what I'm saying? And so earning
that trust.
Yeah, it's just about earning that trust, and it's like going at their pace. And then once they identified you as like, okay, yeah, I'll play with you. Yeah, you're cool. Like I trust, whatever. And so like, yeah, that's kind of just how it started, And then, man, by a year, like I probably outpaced everybody, and then I started doing things that most couldn't do.
Why don't you, I guess, post much of the flowy shit?
Just kind of, it's like,
Because a lot of the stuff you do is a lot of popping.
Yeah. Because
you can do the flow stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Easy. I mean, that's what I was known for, right? I just you know, I don't know, kind of got burnt out on it. I did it so much. You know what I'm saying? I did it so much. I might get back into it or whatever. But like, there's no reason, you know. Yeah, just kind of like, you know.
And what does all these types of creating do for you? What is all these different forms of creating? The dance with your a lot of it's with your body.
Yeah.
A lot of it's with your body. Obviously, with acting, you're creating different characters, like all these things. Like, what does this creativity as a whole, this entertaining for other people, do for you as a person?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it just keeps you sane. You know what I mean? It's like, well, yeah. I mean, if you're, you know, the idea of just always being able to kind of create, right, and just like have fun and. You know what I realized about when I was doing acro flows a lot? I was like, oh, this is what it feels like when some musician goes into the studio and just makes songs just for themselves. They don't care if it never gets played on the radio. It's just like a creative outlet just to like do it. Because I never understood, like one of my favorite artists is Prince. You know, that dude's got like thousands of songs
not
you've
released.
Never heard. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is what it feels like.
Yeah.
He's just like, this is like, he just has to get it out. You know what I mean?
Have you seen some of my kettlebell flipping shit?
Yeah.
So I guess in the kettlebell world, they call that like kettlebell juggling and flowing as well. And like, I'll just play around, mess around with it. But like that flow state of just like moving and seeing where it goes and this and that, like there's something special about it.
Yeah, like that flow state. Yeah.
Because like you could just keep going. Like you already know what the next move is in your head. And like, I don't know, with another person, I guess you're agreeing on that next move.
Yeah, well, with acro, it's a dance, right? It's like, man, it's these two people. We're like getting together and we're building something bigger than ourselves, right? I took it a step further because I was able to. The biggest pride I took, right, was like you'd have a lot of these dudes who probably never went to the gym and couldn't work out. They weren't strong enough, right? So they would make a lot of these women feel that they were small and that was like your fault, right? The thing that I loved was being able to take a flyer with their, you know, God-given ability, whoever they were at that present moment, and like get the best out of them, the thing that they knew they could do, but someone told them they couldn't. And that was just to see the smiles.
Well, how do you get that? So for example, like there's some flyers that you've worked with who, I don't know the name, you could correct me, is you do a front flip, land on your feet.
Yeah, like a front tuck. Just
front tuck, land it on the base's feet.
Yeah.
And there's some people who have never done a front tuck before.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, you got this.
Yeah,
and
totally.
like you'll talk it through, and I was like, they've never done it. How do you know they got it? Like they can't even do a front tuck like on a trampoline or some shit.
Yeah, so what it is, let me tell you what it is. So you have to be able to kind of gain an awareness of that person's ability in a split second. Did you ever read the book called Blink by Malcolm Gladwell?
No.
All right. So there's this.
It's worth the read.
Oh, it's a great read.
Most of his books are good.
Yeah, really great read. So he talks about this like process where your brain is able to make millions of like a million decisions, right? You're unaware. It's just happening all in the back of your brain, right? And then it kind of spits out like an answer, right, to you. And you call it your gut or your instinct or your judgment call or you know what I mean? But there's like a whole bunch of things that are going on. Like, okay, I think there's an example he uses in the book, like when someone is fake smiling.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So the reason why you know someone is fake smiling is because you've seen a million fucking smiles
every day.
Right? every day.
Yeah.
Your brain processed that 182 muscles in the face lit up when a person's giving you a genuine smile. The way their eyes twinkle, right? The fake smile, only 82 muscles in the face appear, right?
Yeah.
You don't consciously know that, oh yeah, I just counted 82. But your brain told you.
It already knows.
It already knows because I saw 50 less muscles, right? Appear in this person's fake smile. When you fly enough people in Acro, the same awareness, right? The same awareness starts to present itself.
It's like, I've already flipped 300 people this year. These are the tendencies basically from what my body knows.
Exactly.
Of the success of people landing this.
Exactly.
This person has those characteristics. It's going to work.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's why I've never sent anybody to the hospital. Really? You know what I mean? And
have you seen any bad injuries out there?
Oh, bro. You know, you remember that Asian chick, Carrie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Professor.
She broke her neck, dog.
From out there?
Yeah. No, not out there. Like some dude was like, there's some like Acro festival in Vegas. I mean, thank God, man. That's why you saw her on my stories. Yeah. After I found out the other girl broke her neck and she was paralyzed, first phone call I made was Carrie, and I'm like, girl, we got to celebrate life. Come to LA, let's go to this concert and just celebrate life.
Oh, she did not live here.
No, she lives in Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've seen some pretty bad ones, bro. Like, yeah, man. So my assessment, when I assess a flyer, I know the things that I'm looking for, and I know whether or not it's possible or not based on, the 300 people before me, like on that. Then really the second step, which is, in my opinion, kind of the intangible thing, is it's like getting them to believe they can do it.
Yeah, you're the ultimate hype man, bro.
Yeah, gotta be, bro. You gotta be like.
I landed my first backflip with you, bro.
Yeah, man.
It was on the cement though in at F45 parking lot, and Victor convinced me to do it.
I know. Yeah, thank God. Yeah, we did it. Oh yeah. You know what's crazy? You took me when I was doing that, because when I first moved out here, I used to teach tumbling at Los Alamitos High School.
I didn't know this.
Yeah,
you taught tumbling still?
Yeah,
wow.
But like I forgot all the cues.
Okay,
because it's been a while.
Oh,
but yeah,
so you kind of it's already in there.
Yeah, so I already kind of knew. Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, that's the secret to it, bro. It's just like,
how do you get someone to believe in themselves?
Just positive, really, just talking to them positive, one, and then really explaining really getting them to understand how the risk is averted, two. And then really, honestly, just like ensuring, depending on like the flyer, like if they need hands-on, and they see some two big motherfuckers near them, right?
They feel comfortable.
Yeah. So it depends on, there's some people that they're like, yeah, I trust you. And I'm like, you don't want to get a spot? Like, no, let's just do it. And like, yeah, boom.
Yeah.
And then there's others that are like, nah, I want like two people here. And I'm like, cool. And then there's others that they're like, we just need one. The ones who I avoid are the ones who adopted the dogma of how to practice from a bunch of yogis that are like kind of projecting their belief, right? I think the way a lot of people approach it is detrimental in the long run. Like, I'm not really trying to flip someone who feels that they need a hands-on spot for 3 years. There's people down there that, you won't see hands off on a castaway for 2 years.
Wow.
Right?
That's a long time, right?
Yeah. And I'm like, really? To me, I think there's something really deeply psychological going on in terms of a deep level of fear that, I don't want to get all juju and so, but I think they manifest. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that I try to stay away from, because if you're asking for this spot 2 years later and you've done it a million times with that very same person, you're saying you don't believe in yourself. Mm-hmm. And if now you've kind of conditioned yourself to have that person as like this, or the spotter as a comfort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just
I guess, do you think that there's any protocols that should be in place to help to have people become the chance of injury lessen, or is it pretty good? So whatever you do, like especially in that, there's always a risk, right, of injury. That's just what it is. I think that if more guys worked out and hit the gym and were stronger, I think strength plays a big part in it. Yeah. Obviously, you got to have some quick reflexes to be able to use your legs or your hands or whatever in a moment's notice to be able to save something, because you're the number one spotter yourself. Just repetition, repetition of a skill. And I think the biggest thing is just kind of really, really developing an awareness at a very insane level about who can do what, right? To where you're not surprised when you try something. And then two, the most important, always use a spotter. You know what I mean? Yeah, and then I just think when you implement that, I think the chances are.
Your chances are great. Yeah.
What do you love about the Acro community? I know you talked about some stuff that you dislike. What's the stuff that you do love?
I love the partnership, like this platonic partnership. That two people can have to just like do this really physically exerting thing, right? That's really cool. I love that. I think with just like any community, you're gonna have like really awesome people. You know what I mean? And honestly, if you think about it, it's just like any other culture, right? I think we join F45s or rock climbing or whatever because it's like.
You still at F45 at all?
Yeah, I haven't gone as much. They're just taking my money, bro. But
it's a good cardio burn still.
Yeah.
Why haven't you been going?
I've just been busy, bro. But got a kid, bro. That taco truck around the corner.
It's still taking your money too.
Putting fat on. No, just like I think just any community. You know what I'm saying? It's just just the communal aspect. But to me, it was just. The thing.
Well, it also brings a lot of joy too, and like community as well as like friendships and this and that. I know. I think I was listening to a podcast you did recently. Like you were in a pretty depressive state before that.
Oh yeah.
What was going on there?
Oh, dog. I went through a breakup, dog. Yeah, I went through a crazy breakup. Yeah, and just like. And, who I was being in the breakup and just like, it was, it was just bad. It was just really, really bad. And
breakups are tough, bro.
Yeah, breakups are real. But that one was tough. That one was tough. And, it was just like, listen, man, people who like are with a partner that they wholeheartedly love, and if one day they're like, I want a divorce, and it's like 30 years later and they're like, damn, I gotta start over. I understand their pain, you know what I mean? But I went through that was like,
I guess I also think there's some science behind it. I can't articulate it exactly right now, but men have a harder time with like breakups on average, from what I've like seen and stuff. I guess what is your advice on how to like dig yourself out of it?
Time, knowing that it'll be like okay.
But at the time you don't know it's okay.
No, but at the time, you'll eventually get over it, right? So, not to get all morbid, but people who like commit suicide because they're depressed, right?
Yeah.
They do that because they see no way out of that feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They don't see any light.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, if it's because of a girl, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Eventually,
Yeah.
you'll see some light.
Yeah.
Could be.
There's 8 million people in the world. There's going to be another girl that you'll get along with.
Yeah. And then, too, also, I mean, maybe this is controversial, but man, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with a distraction. And as long as you're just like upfront with that person, be like, look, this is what I'm going through. You know what I mean? Like, there's something kind of cool about literally having sex with that person, but then talking to them about the ex.
That's crazy.
But there's people that are just mature enough to like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just, because it's not really about the sex, it's just about the companionship. You know
just
what I mean?
having someone to talk to.
Yeah, just having someone to talk to. And I think that like, if that person's on board for that, I think that's the most important part, Yeah, man. Yeah. So
where's I know you said you were before the podcast that you're kind of your season of Acro might be ending.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. I feel like I've done it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But they're who knows?
There's that Jim Carrey quote, like when people ask him about if he's gonna act again, he's like, I think I've done enough.
Who?
Jim Carrey.
Oh wow, yeah, he made a mark,
Yeah, and so there was this interview a couple years back about him acting again. He was like, like people just, I know I've done enough.
Yeah. Wow, that's wild. Yeah.
And some people are just not satisfied with that sometimes.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, where it's just like one day you're like, huh?
Yeah. You want to talk about this next project you're going through, doing?
No, not yet.
No, not yet.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Not yet.
Well, when it happens, we'll have you back on.
Yeah, man.
Yo, so one thing that I love your rants on Instagram, bro. And I end up going down the rabbit holes because I don't pay attention to a lot of media, and that could be ignorance in the sense of just like I'm very peaceful person. Like I feel like all this stuff about like Trump or all these things that are going on in politics, like I usually don't pay attention because like it just makes me in a bad mood. So like I just don't want to be in a bad mood. Like I'm just like a happy guy all the time. Like, and it's because I don't pay attention to a lot of that stuff. But one of the ones that caught my eye is like you listen to the Call Her Daddy podcast with Holly Madison about what went down in the Playboy Mansion, bro.
Yeah.
And you went in on Instagram, bro, about like all of that shit. And I was like, no, this shit happened in LA, like not that far from us.
Dog, it was like, because I was there at the Playboy Mansion.
You did. What were these parties like?
It was insane. I loved it. Dog, it was like everything. So when you're living in Texas and you hear all this glitz and glamour about what Hollywood is like, and then you come here, a lot of it is a little underwhelming.
What do you mean?
It's just not. It doesn't live up to like making a movie. It's like you think, oh, making a movie must be cool and like I
or
don't
like
know.
The Hollywood Walk of Fame, and it's like this cool thing, and then you come, it's like a ton of homeless people are sitting on it.
Yeah, or making a movie is like really long and boring, or you know what I mean, or But like the Playboy Mansion, it was just like everything I thought it would be. Like, it was amazing. And then, I met Hugh, and he thought I was cool, and he gave me a guest list.
Oh,
yeah,
he gave you a guest list.
He gave me a guest list, dog. What? And so, but
how many people were on the guest list?
I mean, it was basically whoever I went up there with, whatever girls that I would go up there with.
How did you initially get into these parties?
There was this club promoter, shout out to Sarah Pantera.
Ooh, that's a good name.
Yeah. She was like the hottest club promoter at the time. And her and Hef hooked up, and he wanted her crowd at his Playboy Mansion party. So like the first party he threw was like this Saturday or Sunday party, like a day party. And so basically everybody who like went to her clubs went to the Playboy Mansion. And so how I got my own little list was there was a person with a video camera just walking around and filming. And so Hef used to have these like movie nights on where it's like all the playmates and him in his theater, and they were watching the home movies from the party. And, you know, one of the playmates was like, yeah, you popped up on screen. Because I was like, sir, thank you. I'm just happy to be here. You know, I'm just like, yeah. And Hef was like, I like that guy. You know? You know what I'm saying? So like one of my homegirls who's a playmate came to me and was like, yo, Hef like loves your energy or whatever. So the next time there was a party up there, I met his side person, Mary, who like handles everything. And she was like, yeah, you know, we really love your energy up here. You know, bring whoever you want. So I was like, bet. So yeah, dog, there was a period where every time he threw a party, if I had a car full of girls and just pulled up, like they would roll in. It was dope. It was dope, dog. It was dope. But then, you know, I guess the girls I was bringing was a little too thick for, you know, their likings.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So then she started having me like submit photos of the girls. And I was like, that's a little too demeaning. Hey, girl, I know you want to go, but can you take a photo in a bikini so I can like send it to some chick at Playboy to approve you? Yeah. Like when it got there, I was like, yeah, I'm good on that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What was crazy about these parties?
Just every celebrity, you know, you can think of was there. You just turn and it's just like everyone's there. Like, you know, I vividly remember like there's a buffet of food and it's just like king crab legs. I'm like, all you can eat king crab legs? Like, this is amazing. Like, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, like,
but like when that episode came out and she was like about the honest stuff about I don't know, these girls just having sex with this dude for $10,000 here and there. Like they'd walk out with like their,
you know what it was,
rack.
Bro? It was like, I remember being around these chicks and I didn't want to judge like how they got money or how they like got put on or whatever, because I'd always see it. And the thing is it was like when she came out and Holly, you know what I mean? It was like, I think I was just shocked that like, oh, wow. Shocked in a good way, I guess, right? That like, oh, wow, we're at a point in our society where the girls could just be like,
being honest about it.
Yeah, be straight up honest. Yeah. Like, and I thought that was like wild. You know what I mean? Because it was like, that was, and you know, listen, call her daddy. I think that kind of marked, you know, the whole sexual revolution with girls being open.
She's killing it, right?
Dog. Right? That whole, I like that. I like the empowerment that women are feeling right now. My only criticism is it's like, I think a lot of, and again, this is going to sound like me mansplaining and I'm probably going to get some shit for this or whatever, but I think like, I just don't want girls to call their sexual exploits, which I think is awesome. You know, I think when you call your like your sexual femininity or your being a feminist, like a sexual feminist, right? I don't know if that's the term properly for this. I think when you act like dudes, you know, from the unethical, because guys are pieces of shit, right? Like in the sense of like, I'm gonna fuck this girl and lie to this girl and break this girl's heart and da. So what I'm seeing is,
I feel like girls do that too, though.
Yes, but they're covering it as like, this is my sexual freedom.
Okay.
Right? You get what I'm saying? And like that's, I think because it's so new right now that girls are like
putting the pedal to the gas pedal
I
down.
think it's like, it's the Wild West and it's like, oh, girl, fuck who you want. But don't act like these piece of shit dudes out here. There's some ethics because hurt people still hurt people. You know what I'm saying?
All the way around, yeah.
Right? Like, I dated this one girl and I remember like off the jump, it was like, I don't want anything. And I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah. It's cool. I don't, whatever. Yeah. She's like, you do your thing. I'll do my thing. Right. So I took her to I invited her to a beach party, right? That like I'm help throwing or whatever. And then I had to leave the beach party. It was in Manhattan Beach to pick up somebody from the airport. And I came back and she's like booed up with some dude at the party. And I'm like, girl, like, this is my party on my time. Like, if you're with me, you're with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get you're like free, but like, you're being messy right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're starting something.
Yeah. It's like, but like, she was on some like, don't tell me what to do. I own my own body. And I'm like, girl, there's a difference between like being messy. And I said, look, if you said, and I really feel this way. If you're like, if I invited you to this party and you said no, and the reason why you said no is because the day before you met some dude at Starbucks and you wanted to go fuck him, I'd be like, all right, cool.
Go.
Do your thing.
Yeah. But if I'm inviting you.
Into my space, and now you like see my boy Nate and you want to fuck Nate and Nate doesn't know that like, now it's like messy. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
But like, don't call that like your sexual freedom. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Ladies, I love y'all, man. Be out in these streets, do your thing. I will never slut shame you, but don't be like shitty dudes. That's all I'm saying.
The trans dudes in sports are the one that is like getting a lot of attention now. That's a tough one. These girls that are beating other girls.
Here's the thing. I think there are certain subject matters you shouldn't talk about unless you've been in the position. And I don't think anyone who's ever played a sport, if you've never played a sport, don't tell people who've played sports how to feel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
About what it's like to have their ass kicked in swimming by a transitioned.
Yeah.
That's my only thing.
Okay. Yeah.
That's my only thing. I want people to be who they want to be.
Yeah.
But man, like, if I had to get controversial about it, in a weird ass fucking way, I feel it's a weird version of like white male privilege.
This is comical. Okay, explain.
Right?
Explain.
I feel that it's like, of course, a white dude, right, with his born privilege is gonna say, I'm a girl now and I want to run or play volleyball with a bunch of chicks. In a weird way, it's.
Oh, yeah, I guess it hasn't. I guess I haven't seen any African American or black people.
Dog, if transgender was solely an African American issue, I don't think
I've seen an African American issue there.
I mean, come on, dog. Think about it. Think about Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah. What about her?
I mean, bro.
Is she Woman of the Year?
Bro.
2020?
The audacity for this person to like transition, but then still hold all the conservative beliefs.
Yeah.
And support people who don't want her to exist.
It's kind of crazy.
That's privilege, bro.
That's crazy.
I
didn't think about it like that.
Crazy,
I never really thought about it like that.
Only a white dude would think of some shit like that, dog. Or a white dude who's now a woman would think of some shit like that.
Yeah.
God, I hope I don't get canceled. so sorry. I say this respectfully, but I don't care what you do. I will accept you. I will honor your pronouns.
100%.
But like sports, I played them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know if I transitioned to a chick, I know I'd beat every chick's ass.
Did you see the powerlifter who did it?
Powerlifting?
Yeah. So I'll have to double check later, but basically this guy wanted to prove a point and saying like what you just said.
Yeah.
Like, if I transition to be a girl, I'm gonna win all these sports medals, and he did. Like you're just like, oh, my pronouns are she and her, and then competed in all of the women's and won all of it. It's
and won.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that.
Nah, it doesn't.
Bro, how you're like the ultimate communicator and connector. Like what advice do you have to people who have a hard time making friends? Because I feel like the people like have a hard time in this day and age where they're just on their phone all the time. They're working from home. Like it's not just kids having hard times making friends because of COVID or XYZ. It's like adults, bro. Like people can't communicate now.
Yeah. I mean, they just have to like not care what. I mean, they have to just not care about rejection. You know what I mean?
Like even in friendship.
Yeah, well, like if you're proactive and be like, yo, we should hang out, and then you honor it and say if that person, because I say don't be afraid of rejection because you never know what's going on in that person's life to where, you know, they may have things going on where it has nothing to do with you, but you know, they may not feel that they're ready to formulate a relationship. So it's like I wouldn't take it personal. I mean, if you try, you know. But yeah, it's just I don't think there's anything wrong with just being proactive and just like going for it. Because at the end of the day, man, everybody wants friends. Everybody doesn't want to feel alone. Everybody wants to connect. Everybody wants to like, and I learned this the hard way, right? Like everybody wants to be friends with someone where they feel like they're authentic with them instead of putting like an exterior up. I mean, I think there's certain levels of discernment, you know, just don't like, you know, hey, you want to be my friend and let me tell you all the fucked up shit in my life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not saying do that, but like,
no one wants that.
Yeah, no one wants that. But, you know, you want to feel like you're around someone genuine. You know what I mean? And if that doesn't work out, cool. Like, man, my whole thing, I learned earlier on in Hollywood, like, man, you're going to be friends. You're going to be thick as thieves with dudes or chicks. And life happens. And, like, for some reason, you just, like, never talk to that person again. It's no bad. And you're just kind of on your own journey throughout life. You know what I'm saying? And so it's really like your own journey because they're on their own journey. And if there's a 2, 3, 4 month, 6 month period where you guys are just like hanging tough, 2-year period, and then they get married and you realize the only reason you guys were the thing that bonded you guys is because you were both two dudes in the streets going to clubs and that was like the thing. Yeah. Then, you know,
I'm experiencing that a lot now in the sense of I was in the bartending world for 7 years.
Yeah.
And like all my best friends were just like bartenders and I love them still.
Yeah.
But like I'm just not around drinking all the time. I'm not around like at 2 to 4 a.m.s at after hours anymore. Like I'm with trainers and ultramarathon runners in the morning and I'm going running at 6 a.m. now, you know? Like those are the people who are awake when we're doing that. Yeah.
So like the thing is it's like you always got to be aware that is at the center of the friendships that you have, and some of them can turn out to be genuine, and some of them can be superficial because the common denominator is that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you know, I've had friends that like we were tight as fuck, and then they blew up, and then we're not as cool anymore because they only wanted to associate with other like famous people. You know what I mean? Or something like that. It happens. It happens. So, you know.
Why do you think that is?
I just think
I guess in terms of fame. Because there's a lot of famous people who I guess people with a lot of following who I know who still are close with like their high school friends or like,
I think those are the ones that are genuine, and I think what happens is once they realize like, oh, like I'm at this level now, I only want to be friends with George Clooney. You know what I mean? Because everybody wants to be friends with George Clooney.
Why George Clooney?
Dog, he gives out $1 million to his friends.
Oh, really?
Dog, you didn't hear it?
No.
On his birthday.
Yeah.
He had like briefcases, and he called up like his closest 15 friends or something. Google it, bro.
Yeah.
And on his birthday, Google George Clooney gives his friends like $1 million. On his birthday, he gives out briefcases to his friends, and it was $1 million cash each. And that was him saying...
George Clooney surprised 14 of his best friends with $1 million, each in cash.
Yes.
That's wild.
Dog. That's a fucking homie, bro.
George Clooney credits his closest friends with helping him get where he is today. And in 2013, he decided to pay them back for all they've done, literally.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, I do think that's a big factor, dude. I think friendships, like, at least some of my friends, or probably some of yours as well, they believe in you more than you believe in yourself sometimes.
Yeah. You got to think, man. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You got to think that through all the ups and downs, right? And here's the thing. He's giving his best friends $1 million. So he's saying, I know some of you motherfuckers ain't got money, because why would y'all? It's not like he's saying, all my best friends now are rich, and I like discarded them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he knew. Like he's not calling Brad Pitt his best friend, even though they're real close. What the fuck does Brad Pitt care for $1 million? But like the fact that like through all that, he's like, dog, y'all have rode with me. Here's a little token of my appreciation.
What are the importance of those friends for you?
What do you mean?
What are the importance of those types of friends for you?
I mean, I think you only get those friends when you like go through thick and thin and you see all the sides. Those friendships only happen when you get to experience every aspect of what it is to be human, or close to every aspect of what it is to be human, you know? Like, I just had a friend of mine who got paroled after 30 years in prison.
Have you talked to him or her?
Yeah, I just talked to him. And I mean, he did something really terrible on, like graduation and shit, and fucking, like, he was a friend of mine, and, I just wanted him to, like, okay, like, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt that he changed, you know what I'm saying? And he's no longer that person that, But
that is one thing too. A lot of people aren't the person who you met. And that could be relationships as well as friendships too.
Yeah. Look, I mean, friendships, they go through all kinds of like, they go through all kinds of like stages. You know what I'm saying? And those stages are gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is part of it. But like, those people were brought into your life for a reason. Your circumstances can change. Then you realize, like my girlfriend, right? Like I love my girlfriend used to be like overweight.
Okay.
Right? So she had like these set of girlfriends.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so they all,
were similar.
Yeah, they were all similar.
Victor's trying to find words.
Yeah. Then my girl got hot. Right? And it's so cute because like she still forgets she's like hot. You know what I'm saying? I love her, right? And like those girls, when she goes back home, they hate the attention she gets. They hate the attention she gets.
Like they tell her that? Or no, you just tell?
Yeah, she can just tell.
Yeah.
And so she learned the hard way. It was like, damn, like this friendship was kind of like based on this, like we have this kind of mutual thing that all makes us like, and we can all wallow in each other's like, yeah, right?
And now I don't have that.
And now she doesn't have that. Something in her snapped, and she's like, I'm gonna
do the thing.
I'm gonna do my thing, and they're still
in it.
Yeah. And you hear that a lot. You know what I mean? So you understand that. Oh, okay, that friendship was based on this, but you don't know it at the time. But that always happens.
Similar to that subconscious thing that we're talking about in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's just like, these are the people I surround myself with because of the situation.
Yeah. It's like when there's almost a shallowness to, you want to be successful, you got to surround yourself with successful people and
Everyone
blah,
says
blah,
that.
blah, blah, right?
But there's some truth to it.
There's truth to it, but it's also kind of shallow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's also, because you know what?
But let's use like Acro, for example. Like if I was to be around you, Acro James, I don't know, Tarzan, and a couple other guys every single day, I'm gonna get fucking good.
Yeah, you're
100%.
You're gonna get good at like that because it's gonna push you, but like
no, not just because I'm gonna push me. It's literally the skill set. Like people who are extremely good at the craft are around me all the time.
Yeah, and so what's happening is you're learning from those people. You're adopting a mindset, right? Like that. Those are all great characteristics, and they're also fine, right? But like I feel that if it's based on a very surface kind of level thing,
like what?
I mean,
like money.
Okay. For example, let me ask you this: if you met an amazing girl tomorrow, you're single now, right? Yeah. If you met an amazing girl tomorrow, right? And y'all have been hanging out, and she's like, "Oh yeah," and she by chance tells you she moved to LA to be a singer.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you're getting to know who she is as a person.
Okay.
Right? Then you finally hear her sing, and she's awful. Are you cutting that relationship?
Probably not.
Okay, that's genuine.
Okay.
But there's an argument to be made where it's like, I don't even fucking think this bitch is good at singing.
I'd probably tell her that.
God. Good luck. Good luck. Oh my God. Hey, baby, I love you, but you suck. Oh, fuck, bro. I would probably tell her. I wouldn't. I'm like, girl, you sound like Whitney in this movie. Oh my God. I'd probably tell her that. Hell no.
You would tell her that? Why would you tell her that?
I would not tell her.
Why not?
Nah. If I like her for who she is, and she happens to suck at singing,
if she came out to LA and was trying to be a star and she was dog shit.
Dog, I ain't telling her, man. I'm just gonna be her. I'm gonna be the biggest hype man.
Okay, what's your point?
Girl, you're better than Adele. Dog, it'd be so here's my point. Like,
sorry I didn't play your cards right
no,
there.
that's hilarious, bro. I mean, if you cut the relationship, I can make an argument that it was kind of done on selfish reasons.
Okay.
Right? She's this amazing chick.
Yeah.
And she's talent in her chosen talent.
Yeah.
She sucks at it.
Sure.
But she's a good person.
Yeah.
And if somebody says, like, I only want to surround myself with people, I think that's weird.
Yeah.
I think I'm sticking with her. I'm sticking with her.
And saying that she sounds like Whitney Houston.
And You know what I'm saying? Keep working at it. Maybe one day the voice will change and you fucking are Adele in this motherfucker. But
that's what I'm saying. I feel like you have to tell her that to wake her up to get some singing lessons or some shit.
I think there's a way to do it, but there's a lot. But what I'm saying is I think there's a lot of people who like cut those relationships based on like, you know what I mean? And I don't think that's right.
So you don't come from the standpoint of like I'm gonna try to surround myself with these type of people to be more like them.
I think that's a strategy in life. That's a great strategy in life. That's awesome. That works. It does. You absorb that energy and you start thinking and moving the same way they do, and it creates like this level of success.
What's your definition of success?
I mean, whatever, like, you know, you want it to be. Me? I don't know. I mean, like, if I'm happy, if I got money, you know, if I've been able to contribute in some way to society and, you know, whatever my passion is, like, I think the worst thing is to be someone that contributes in some type of way, but they don't like are able to reap the benefit of it. Does that make sense? Like, that's just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Terrence, what's his last name?
Terrence Howard?
Howard.
Yeah.
Have you seen all his scientific shit that he's been talking about?
I think that dude's brilliant, bro.
Yeah, so he has a lot of patents out about all the AI stuff that's going on, and his patent didn't get renewed. And if you look at all the software companies that are using that patent today, it's over a few $1 billion that he didn't get paid 1 ounce for. And so he talks about it on Joe Rogan and a couple other podcasts as well. And that's exactly what you're talking about. You're like, oh, I've done all this research. I've done all these inventions that like I've come up with, and he's gotten not one dime from any of it.
That's just hard. Listen, his story about how he got screwed over in Iron Man, so true.
Oh, I don't even know it.
Yeah. Like,
how did you get screwed over in Iron Man?
I mean, you have to like listen to his podcast. I mean, that episode with Joe Rogan, like I think he talks about it. Long story short, you know, he was the first person to get signed on. He was promised a certain amount. Then the movie was wildly successful. They wanted to give him a pay cut and to give Robert Downey Jr. more money. But, you know, Robert Downey Jr. was paid less because no one would bond him or insure him. Because, you know, he was like a heroin addict or he was some type of drug addict.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, yeah, he fought for him. I mean, it's a long story. You have to like...
Oh, check it out.
Yeah, you have to check it out. I don't want to like get, you know, everything. But yeah, I mean, listen, Terrence, I know Terrence, man. He's an awesome dude. I know people say he's difficult, you know, whatever. But my argument to that is it's like, I think there are plenty other actors that are just as difficult that you don't treat the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not excusing any behavior he may have had on sets or with people or whatever, but...
In your opinion, what are the characteristics of a good actor?
Yeah, I mean, it's simple, really. I think if you just can, like, make that person viewing, you know, feel the emotion that is supposed to be written, you know, like, the writer, the director, they're the artists. They come up with this whole vision. You know what I mean? They've come up with this vision. And if that actor can execute that vision and enhance it, right? Whether it be from an emotional standpoint, a comedic standpoint, and just kind of give it this like richness and this texture where you're just a part of the world watching it, then yeah, that's what makes a good actor. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the best way I've heard that explained, bro. That was nice.
I mean, that's all it is, man. It's like, you know, actors got too much ego. It's like, just be the Just be what they need you to be.
Yeah.
Now, I think there are movie stars and there are actors.
Okay, what makes someone a star?
When their personality transcends and you enjoy watching them in a movie. So like
The Rock.
The Rock, he's not a good actor, but he's
bro.
a movie star.
Yeah, I watched some of his movies. I was like, bro, you're not that good.
But he's a movie star.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right?
Because I love The Rock.
Yeah.
The whole brand of The Rock is like insane.
So you're sitting down and here's the key. The movie stars who figured it out is it's like, okay, I'm the movie star and let's build this team around this movie.
But wouldn't you think that you would have to be a good actor first to then become a star? Like that talent no?
Nah. Listen, dog, it's the same reason everybody loves Hawk 2 Girl. you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's that element is always existed. And so it's always going to be here. Now, you have to be god awful as an actor to where someone's watching that movie and they're like, God, they're so bad. I'm checking out of the story they're telling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But The Rock, fuck, that motherfucker's a movie star.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm gonna go see whatever
It comes out.
Yeah, because he's a movie star, but like, he's not De Niro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
You consume a lot of, I guess, content or entertainment yourself. Like, you really enjoy it.
Yeah.
What does that do for you? Because, like, there's this quote that I heard a while back. To entertain, you must be entertained.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I get that. Yeah.
Like, you consume the works of art to inspire you for your art.
Totally. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. I get that.
So I guess, like, why do you choose to pay your attention to these certain things? Like, what's your favorite forms of entertainment? Top 3. I know you're thinking a lot.
I mean, right now, I love comedies. I love sci-fi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like movies.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about movies.
Oh, but that entertain. Right. Right now I've kind of been in like an educational space, so I love listening to
documentaries.
Just a lot of documentaries, podcasts. Just to. I love the idea of I grew up with something, or I had an idea about something, and then some podcast comes along and untangles it or demystifies it, and they put like answers to that
Answers your questions.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, I didn't know that. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, that makes sense now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the biggest kind of turn on to me right now as far as like, entertainment. It's like the deconstruction of it. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, bro. What are you most excited for in your life right now?
Well, I'm ring shopping right now.
Oh!
Yeah, dog.
Congrats, bro.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I'm ring shopping,
You're doing the thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the thing. Gotta find a ring. Gotta, put a ring on her finger. Gotta make some babies. Like, yeah, I'm in love. So
I love that, bro. I'm so excited
man.
for you.
Thank you, dog.
And the new projects and everything. That's so cool.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that's the goal right now, bro.
Excited to hear the next chapter, bro.
Yeah,
thanks for coming on, bro.
Well, thank you for having me, Nate.
Mr. Victor Togunde, this was fun. We'll do it again. See you guys. Where can everyone find you?
I'm at theacromachine.com. At the Acro Machine on IG. Yeah.
Anything else?
That's it. Yeah.
That's it. Go check Vic there, guys.
Yeah.
And
all right.
We'll see you in the next one.
Peace. I'm gonna tell her.